Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing another tutorial in Minecraft Sky Factory 4. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make and use the Mob Slaughter Factory, which is a block from the Industrial Foregoing mod, and a useful way of getting a couple of different materials in the game. One of them kind of hard to get a hold of. Now, if you find this video helpful and you like it, please be sure to click like. But most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button so that way you can see all my videos and tutorials as they come out. All right. So a couple different things we're going to look at. First one is the Mob Slaughter Factory itself. And for that, you're going to need 2 pieces of plastic, a gold gear, 2 iron swords, and a machine case, and 2 iron axes and a piece of redstone. You're also going to need a tank for fluids. I use the Singularity tanks, which are pretty easy to make. Just 4 iron ingots and 5 pieces of glass. But any tank that'll hold fluid will work, including the black hole tank. Now, the last thing we're going to look at are the range add-ons. So the range add-on is what increases the area of effect for the block from Industrial Foregoing you're using. In this one, the Mob Slaughter Factory is our example. So to make a range add-on, which this one is the +1, is 6 pieces of cobblestone, 2 pieces of plastic, and a glass pane. Now, if you go into the JEI and you do a search for range add-on, you're going to find that there's 1, 2, 3, all the way up to +12. The bigger the number, the more range your machine is going to have. The recipes are almost the same. The 3 middle are always identical. Plastic, and some form of glass pane. So the tier 1 needed 6 cobblestone, tier 2 is 6 lapis, 3 is 6 iron, all the way up to 12, which is 6 emerald. And that's the one we're going to use today, just because it's easier. But the best part about these range add-ons are you don't have to make the first one to make the second. You don't build or advance like you do many of the different things in Sky Factory 4. You can go straight to the biggest one or whichever one you were able to make at the time. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our blocks for today's build. Put these down here. We're also going to be using a couple of the cables from the cyclic mod. I have the fluid extraction cable and an energy extraction cable. You're also going to need an RF power source. Anything that produces RF power will work. So any of the generators, fission reactor, fusion reactors, flux, anything will work. For this one, I'm just using a battery with an incoming power source as well as an energy extraction cable. Now, for placing down your Mob Slaughter Factory, whichever way you place it, it's going to face the same way you do. So you see, there's all the slaughtery parts there up front. So since I was facing that way, so is my block. So if I want it to go a specific direction, in this case, I want it to face there, set it in front of me. There you go. Mob Slaughter Factory is facing forward. Now, the purpose of the Mob Slaughter Factory is to produce 2 different types of materials. Liquid meat and pink slime. So when you go into the hub here, you'll see that you can pause this if you want to. You can also hit J to see what it's going to make. Liquid meat, pink slime bucket. Okay. There's our power source. Down here, you can toggle it to always active. I always leave it just on, but you can have it to activate on red signal only or activate without red signal only, if you prefer. You can also see the range area or the working area. At base, it will only affect the single block in front of it. Now we're going to take that +12 range add-on and put it up here in the corner. Now, as you can see, our box is much, much larger. It's always the same height, but now it's going to be a 12 by 12 square. Okay? Let's go ahead and turn that on. All right. So now, anything that spawns here, whether it be an animal like a cow, as you can see, I put a bunch of cows down. They die relatively quickly. It can take a minute. They can walk around and get out of there, as you see. So having your monsters or your animals penned in this area would be recommended to make sure they stay in front. Get over here, Bessie. There we go. So you might want to have that fenced in, but you could have this attached to a regular mob farm. You could put a mob spawner in front of it, spawn things like zombies. You see, the monsters are going to die quicker than the sunlight will kill them. And it kills pretty much everything in just one hit. Now, when we look at our block again, you'll see that we have gathered 1,000 buckets of liquid meat and 760 millibuckets of pink slime. And pink slime can be a little bit hard to get a hold of for some folks. You can make pink slime seeds and just fight slimes and kill them, but this is a passive way of automating that process and getting a bunch of pink slime. Now, to get the fluids out, well, normally you would stick a bucket in here, an empty bucket, and it'll pull it out. Let's grab a bucket here. Grab a couple. There we go. I'm going to take an empty bucket, place it in here, and it pulled out liquid meat bucket, right? So now I have that. If I had enough for pink slime, I could do the same with it. But there's other things you can do as well, and that's where our tanks are going to come from. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put a fluid tank on there. You can see the pink slime went in there because that was the only thing that's in there. I'm going to set this on top, set another one, so we have two. Now I'm going to start dropping some cows again. Just a couple at a time. I don't want to overload the machine here, have a couple get away. And I'll drop a few zombies in there as well. Now, what you're going to notice is there's pink slime in both of these. I did that on purpose because I wanted to show you that. If you're going to set your tanks up, you want to set it up beforehand, before you start killing out your monsters. And the reason for that is it's always going to try to pull this liquid meat out to the left-hand side. Right now, there's liquid meat in that little space. So if I slap this down, the liquid meat goes in it. So that can clog it up. So liquid meat always comes up the left. This always comes up the right or top. And now as I do it, the right fluids are going to go into the right spot. Now instead of using a tank, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and just have those cables or the fluids run directly into another machine or process, depending on what you need them for. You could have them going into a black hole tank, so it just creates infinite fluids of each one until you need them. But either way, your mob slaughter factory is going to start producing liquid meat, which there's a whole mess of different things you can do with liquid meat, or pink slime, which again, pink slime, depending on where you are in the game, the easiest way to get pink slime balls is to just straight up go and kill pink slimes, which you can use making pink slime seeds. But if you want a lot of it passively without having to do that, this is a great way of getting that, and then you can convert it into slime balls. All right, so pretty easy machine to use, very easy to set up and automate, as you can see, as long as you have a place for the fluids to go and some way for the animals to spawn or the mobs to spawn. So this could be just a grass field and your animals spawn passively. You can make a regular mob spawner, so they spawn in a dark area. Put them whatever you need. All right, so again, pretty easy one for today. But that is one that people have asked for, how to get liquid meat and how to get pink slime. So this is a great way to kill two birds with one stone, or one relatively easy machine to make. So if you have any questions about this tutorial or any of my tutorials, please be sure to put that down in the comments, as well as any recommendations or suggestions you may have for other tutorials you'd like to see in Sky Factory 4. Always looking for new ideas. This was a tutorial that was specifically recommended in the comments. This is an example of that. So I do my best to try to keep up with those. So if you got something you'd like to see, please be sure to put it down in there. I also stream both here on YouTube and over on Twitch. I stream usually 6 days a week between the two of them. For my streaming schedule, you can go to my website, onlydraven.com. And if you'd like to come over to Twitch or YouTube streams, and if you have questions about Minecraft and you'd like to get some answers in real time, I'm always happy to chat with you, whether I'm streaming Minecraft or not. So on Twitch, I am Onlydraven Gaming, all one word, no underscore, no space. Come on over, give us a follow. We'd love to have you. But that is going to do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.